Hey guys, Zoroarrkk here, and today I'm bringing you the third episode of the Twine 2 tutorial. Today we're going to be looking over inventory systems and how to do one. Now, as I always say, as a disclaimer, this might not be the perfect way to do it, but it's a way to do it. And the guides for Harlow, for Sugarcube, and the Discord link for Twine in general are all down in the description, as well as the Rise of the Crowder, which is my main project, which is where I'm showing you guys these things. That is also down in the description if you want to have a go. Look at it, play it, whatever you want to do. With that being said, we're getting straight into it, and this one's actually going to be probably a shorter video because there's not too much to it. So, firstly, we want to have a look at this line here: set inventory to A, and then whatnot. Now, this I should clarify this at the moment is in Harlow. We'll look at Sugarcube in a second. So let's go into this. So you have your basic set command like any variable. Then you have A, which is the array, because you want to make an array of stuff for an inventory system. And then all of these are strings. Now you could probably, I believe you can make this just be a variable. So you should be able, as you can see, you can put variable in here. So this gold here could just be variable of gold and then gold at the end, so it then displays that number. But for this is all I needed. So you have a weapon, which is all depends on when it's set, 20 gold, and a health potion. Now I've laid it out this way. This is probably the hardest part, is to lay it out right so it looks right grammatically. So have fun with that. But that's why I've put and a at the back here, because this should be at the back for at least at the moment. I think a little bit later on it gets a bit hairy. But that's basically how you make a simple array. Then if you want to add to the array, you can see here, set inventory to inventory plus, and then the A again, and then a golden ring. Because you can see this is what we're adding. We're adding a golden ring in this passage. Similarly, if you want to minus something, you just put set inventory to inventory minus something. So I believe I do that. Oh, okay, I just change it a bit differently, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I might have even done it wrong. I generally don't know. But anyway, you get the point. So it's just plus and minus in that respect. In terms of the inventory itself, the way we want to access it is just by a simple passage. So we're going to go open to your inventory. And I have this basically on nearly every single passage. So you can see it's always at the bottom here. For everything that basically isn't dialogue, I didn't want to obviously do it in dialogue. I actually want to make it a bit realistic, but if you're not in dialogue, then you can open up your inventory. That will take you to this page. Now, this line here, and basically this line too, these I believe you can do easier, but like I said, this works only in Harlow. We'll go into the Sugarcube version in a minute, which is a little bit different. But it looks scary. It's actually pretty simple. So basically, click whatever, display whatever. Now the reason, the first thing, what this does is, when you play this, if you hit examine your weapon, weapon will be highlighted, so you can click it, and when you click it, it will display the weapon passage underneath. I'll show you this in a second. Right, it displays it underneath, rather than going to the passage. And the reason why you want it that way is because of this link: go to exit inventory, history's last. Basically what this does is when you hit that button, when you hit exit inventory, it will then take you back to the passage you were just at. If you don't do it this way, at least in Harlow, as far as I'm aware, you can't get back to the previous passage without doing some other finicky stuff. So I'd recommend doing it this way, at least to get it working, and then you can experiment with other things to maybe make it a little bit easier, a little bit nicer. But this system works, like I said, in Harlow. This doesn't exist in Sugarcube. We'll go into that in a second. These are just because you get the diary and you get the ring a little bit later on, and also you can choose to not have an heirloom, which is why there's the ifs there. So you can just basically ignore them, and it's just the same thing. Just click display, click display. You can also see that when you go to look at this diary, again it works the same way. So if you want to read the first page, you would click first, it would show the second page. or show the first page, sorry, and then again same with second, and it will run down. So if we just quickly play real quick, I probably should have closed some of these, but we're good. We've got nothing dodgy on there like I have done before. So if we just put Zoroarrkk in real quick for our name, and let's just say we're going to pick up randomly pick, so we're a male human, major thunder, pale skin, black bloods, blah blah blah. Hit correct, open our inventory. Now, as you can see, weapon and potion is highlighted. Unfortunately, it does highlight anything with that letter, so potion is highlighted twice. There's probably ways around that, but it works. So we click potion. You can see it displays here, and the reason why this has disappeared is because this will stay on the screen until you hit exit inventory. So I can do weapon. That actually comes up above it, depending on the position of where the examines were initially. And then we hit exit inventory and we go back to the previous passage. Very, very simple, very, very easy. So, go back into Twine here. So, that is the Halo version. Now let's look at the Sugar Cube version. So if we go into here, you don't have any of the A thing, you can just make an array normally. So it's just pretty much the exact same thing, just without the A, and obviously with the triangular brackets, and the set command without any colon. That's what I meant to say. And you also need these square brackets around it as well. If we go down to the plus and minus, it works again exactly the same. So set inventory to inventory plus, and then do that in the system. We then go to here, you can see again, still we open your inventory passage, and then we go a bit here. Now this looks a bit more confusing than the previous one, but trust me, it's actually probably easier. So instead of doing all the click bullshit that we were doing before, we do link, replace, and include. So basically, it will say that examine your weapon, examine your potion and whatnot, actually becomes the whole thing becomes a click. And then it's saying that instead of going to examine your weapon, which obviously wouldn't exist, you go to weapon and you include it in the page. And then for the history commands, that again doesn't exist in this game, in this language. Instead, it's even simpler in just return. And you actually, again, it's just return, close your inventory. Very simple. And then again, everything else just works the exact same. Link, replace, include, link, replace. So again, if we just hit play on this one and do the same again, let's just make our name and then randomly pick and then hit yes. Hit open your inventory. It works the exact same as the previous one, if not a little bit nicer, I will admit. And then you can just close and it goes back to it. So if we want to approach the gates, I'll just skip through all the dialogue. You guys can read this if you want in the actual game. And then hit open inventory again. And hit close inventory again. You can see it goes back to this page. So very, very simple. Very, very easy. Probably easier in Sugar Cube. Because while this looks more confusing than the previous one and a little bit nastier, it's actually just the same thing. Like, all of these are literally just the same thing. Again, you got the if commands here as well, for when you pick up the diary and when you pick up the ring later on in the game. So I'd actually probably say this one's actually easier. It just looks more confusing than what it is. So anyway, guys, that is the basics of an inventory system. Like I said, you can, while I have a set amount of gold here in this, you can always just try and type while I'm doing it. You can always just set gold to, I don't know, 20, and then just have it displayed as there you go. So let's do that, and then if I hit play again, and hopefully I haven't broken it, because I'm doing this on the fly. So again, if we open our inventory, you can see we actually got 20 gold. And just to show that it's not like just repeating from the previous one, if we just change this number to be 30 and then play again, I probably should have done 30 initially, I don't know why I didn't. Open inventory, 30 gold. So it's very, very simple, very, very easy. And yeah, that's basically it for inventory systems. I don't know what we're going to look at next. I think the next thing we are going to look at is going to be stat systems, I believe, or a way to do a stat system similar to Dungeons and Dragons. So I hope you guys look forward to that. But if there's anything you guys want to know that I haven't covered, let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys do like this and are liking these tutorials. And yeah, if you're new and enjoyed the video, hit subscribe. Check out the previous videos on Twine 2 and also on Inform 7 that I did a few years back. And yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy. Peace out.